Hello everybody and welcome back to Media Law, and it's now time to be moving into our final module for the course, Module 5, Key Issues for the Digital Era. Now this covers chapters 11, 12 and 13 of your text, and chapter 11 is all about intellectual property, and that's to do with using your work and the work of others. So the intellectual property chapter and the associated learning problem deals with IP, your property rights over your created work. And it starts by looking at plagiarism, which is really the ethical dimension of the theft of other people's work. But it then moves into the legal implications of this. And the legal version of plagiarism is, of course, breach of someone's copyright. And you can be sued for stealing the creative work of others, whether that takes the form of text, images, sound, or other creative content. So copyright's one major field of intellectual property that we examine in the module. And of course we touch upon some other areas. We also look at patent law and trademark law in particular. And related to copyright, we consider the very important area of moral rights, because although people can actually sell or license their material that might be copyright, they still retain their moral rights, the rights to the moral integrity of the use of their work, and sometimes the misuse of their work can result in them suing for a breach of their moral rights. Now, I only mention that now because it's quite important, both copyright and moral rights, to your learning problem that you do based around that Chapter 11 intellectual property material. In Chapter 12, we take a good look at privacy, and we have a learning problem centered around privacy. Privacy takes in a few areas of the law, and one of those particularly related to the learning problem is the area of trespass upon other people's property. And we all know that sometimes the media do have problems with this area of trespass. Sometimes particularly investigative journalists or current affairs reporters are tempted to go onto other people's land to get stories, and sometimes they have permission to do that. In the area of privacy or breach of privacy, we consider the international dimensions of that and learn that there is actually an enforceable, actionable right to privacy in some countries, but Australia does not yet have that, although there have been law reform proposals that Australia introduce a new right to privacy. We do, however, have a Privacy Act which controls the way governments and corporations deal with people's private data. So you can certainly take action over the misuse of your private data under those sorts of laws. And our final chapter is really a mixed bag because it picks up on several issues to do with corporate law, because so much journalism now is moving towards both journalism and other affiliated media industries operating as businesses and selling their services as contractors. So the final chapter looks at the law of public relations, freelancing, and the new area of new media entrepreneurship. Now, of course, there are many areas of business law, and in one chapter we really can't examine all of them, but we do pick up on some of the main areas, the area of consumer law, of negligence, of breach of contract, and a couple of others that are particularly related to public relations consultants who have their own business, freelance journalists who have decided to set up as a partnership or a business, and new media entrepreneurs who are starting some kind of news or media related startup and trying to navigate these important corporate and consumer laws from that dimension. Our learning problem picks up on that as well, and so it looks particularly at the area of consumer law and how you would need to navigate that if you had that level of responsibility. And that will bring us to the end of the course. Of course, you've got your final couple of assessment items to do, and your learning problem preparation has been central to that. So if you still have some work to do on preparing your learning problems, including these three that I've been mentioning today, then please brush up on those because they will feed into your final assessment. I do hope you've enjoyed the course Media Law and you take some skills and understandings with you into your careers having learnt them here. Thanks and bye for now.